Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing a Dragon Cyber Hobby figure, which I know it's been a while, and that's because of a few reasons. The first reason is um, the few remaining Dragon figures that I want are just really hard to get a hold of. And secondly, the market for Dragon figures has just been really dry lately. Honestly, this whole year, I feel like it's been pretty bad. So that's why it's been a while since I've reviewed any Dragon figures. So for that reason, I'm really excited to add another one to the collection. This is one of the last Russian cyber hobbies that I needed to complete my collection. There's only one other Russian cyber that still is evading me. But this one I actually had help getting from a friend in the UK. So a quick shout out to Harry. His channel's name is Mr. Bodchop if you want to go check him out. He also reviews a lot of Dragon figures. Alright, well let's jump right in and take a look at this box. So the name of this figure is Corporal Volodya Andreievich Pavlov. He is a Red Army infantryman in a Soviet mortar team, Leningrad, 1941. So as you can see, we've got a pretty fat box here, very thick. Takes up a lot of space. And this is the only picture on the box. The rest of the box is just this white color, so not really much else to show here. So let's bring out the figure now. So here's the figure that you're getting with this set. And the figure itself is really nice. The Russian cybers are always super unique, and they do a great job with these head sculpts. Now he is very, very simplistic, as is the case with most Russian figures, but this one in particular is extremely light on gear. So if you wanted to, you could add some more equipment to him. But then again, I don't know how historically accurate that would be, considering that he is a mortarman and he's probably not going to be carrying too much stuff. Although it would be really cool to see him with a sidearm or a rifle, but like I said, I don't know how historically accurate that would be. So I have him holding the mortar shell here, and this is pretty nice. It's pretty heavy actually. It's not plastic, or I guess it's like a hard, very hard plastic material, so it's got some weight to it. And here's the figure's head sculpt. It's a great looking head sculpt. The cap fits on his head pretty well, and you do have to put the insignia on the front yourself. I just glued that on. It's actually a pin, so I actually the pins don't work very well, so I just cut off the pins and just glued it on for, I think, a better result. So that's the cap. And here's the head sculpt without the cap on. Like I said, nice detailing. It's got a good expression, and the hair looks good. And here's his uniform. He's got a belt and his canteen, and that's really about it. The other thing to note here are the boots and the leggings, and these look really nice. Now, surprisingly, you don't have to put these on yourself. They already do it for you. But honestly, in this case, I mean, there's really not much to assemble with this figure, so to be honest, it would have been nice to wrap these leggings on yourself. But it is what it is. So that's the figure you get. Overall, a really nice looking figure. Now, unfortunately, that's where, at least in my opinion, that's where the good things end about this set. Now, this is my opinion. I'm going to be a little critical about this mortar because I've had a lot of issues with it. So I'm just going to show you piece by piece what it looks like. So here's the base. And this is nicely detailed. I mean, there's a lot of good detailing on here, making it look weathered. This is a very, very hard material. Not quite sure. I don't think it's plastic, but it's got some weight to it. This piece here is metal, so that gives it a lot of weight. So that's the base, and now here's the actual mortar, and here's where I had a lot of problems. Now this whole thing is metal, so it's very heavy, which at first I thought was really cool. It made it a lot more impressive because all their other mortars have been plastic, but I soon found out that it's too heavy, which means trying to display this thing is a nightmare because the whole time it's so heavy, it just falls right over because of the weight. So I think that's a huge issue. I mean, I can't even really display this thing because it's constantly falling over because it's so top heavy. So, I mean, that's a huge problem, and I know Dragon isn't always the greatest when it comes to making mortars. I've had issues with a lot of this kind of stuff before, but never this much of an issue. So I am going to be pretty critical about this mortar because honestly, I'm not impressed by this. And honestly, it falls apart so easily. Like this part here just slides right out super easily. So when you're trying to display it, I mean, this part's falling out. I just feel like this thing is very fragile. And I also ran into some issues with pieces breaking off. So this little lever piece snapped right off as soon as I took it out of the box. And that could be because of the age. I mean, that's the only issue with these models is, the age causes things to wear down over time. And the biggest issue I had was that this leg here, this snapped off when I was trying to pose it. And that was partially my fault. I was being a little rough with it, trying to get it to just stand up. But here at the bottom, this is cool. I like this metal chain, but I'm gonna try to just get it to stand for you, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. Now it definitely does better on carpet because there's more to grip onto. But you can see the whole time while I'm trying to set this thing up, as soon as I let go, this is so heavy that it just begins to drop, which causes this to slide out of the socket. It's just kind of a mess, as you can see. So that's pretty unfortunate. I wish Dragon had done a better job with this mortar. Alright, so that's my synopsis of this set. I know I was a little critical of it, but I think that is a big problem, that the mortar is just really hard to display. Now, the figure itself is really nice. I really love the head sculpt, and the uniform is nice. So it's up to you. If you see this figure and you're curious and you want to get him, I wouldn't pay top dollar for him, but if you see him for a good price, maybe like $100 or something, go ahead and snatch him up. This is a nice figure, and especially if you're trying to get all the cyber Russians, definitely go ahead and get him. But just be really careful with this mortar. The pieces break off very easily, and it's very, very difficult to display. Alright guys, well that's my honest review of this set. I hope you enjoyed, regardless of the issues, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.